Hello, I thought I would show you my seedling and grow lights setup. This is actually my first time using grow lights. It was actually fairly simple to do. I wouldn't necessarily steer a beginner right into grow lights. I think there are other options like winter sowing, which I can talk about another time, but I thought it was time for me to try some grow lights. So I actually have two levels here on just like a basic utility shelf that I actually got at Aldi for $20, so you can't beat that. And these two grow lights actually link into each other so that you can connect them and have two at once. And I got these grow lights at Harbor Freight. I think it was about the best price that I've seen. I think they were $18 each, which isn't too bad. While I was at Harbor Freight, I also picked up this digital timer so that your plug goes in there and you can program it to be on for, say, 16 hours a day, which is kind of the recommended time that I saw for growing seedlings. So I'll just show you some of my little cells here. My dahlias were actually the first to pop up, I think, and then this little sweet pea. And then down here, as you can see, I have some more mature seedlings. I actually started these in just these like leftover utensil organizers that didn't have a place or a home, and I thought, hey, that's a perfect seed starter. Here's the only problem: I did not label what they are. Don't be like me. That's very frustrating. I like to know what I'm growing. I feel like this is a Cosmo. I can just kind of tell by the leaves, but everything else, and I think these are probably Snapdragons because they're so tiny, but that's kind of part of the fun, I suppose. Back here, I actually had this reusable cell like starter kit that I got from a Facebook free group, and my marigolds, Kilimanjaro White, which is a beautiful variety I got from Baker Creek Seeds, they came up right away, so super happy with them. I love, you can see the marigold seeds still on this little seedling. Yeah, and I think my Cresspedia is popping up as well, which is like that yellow drumstick flower, which I've never grown before. Should be super fun. I think the best part about starting your own seedlings inside your own house is that no matter what time of the year, even if it's super cold and miserable outside, I can come down here, see some green, check my little seedlings, get super excited for the spring, and it just makes, the end of February, beginning of March, which is typically a dreary time of the year, especially in Western Pennsylvania, way more joyous. So the other cool thing about my setup, I think it's cool, is this is all in my basement. It's not really a finished basement at all, but it has a utility type shower that we just do not use because it's scary and dark down here, and we have a regular shower upstairs. However, the water source actually still works, and we have a utility sink nearby. But I thought, hey, this is the perfect place to start seeds. One, it's out of the way, I'm not taking up space. Two, stackable room, as you can see here, I can kind of keep growing, I can keep adding lights. And three, there's three walls in here, and so theoretically it might help trap in some warmth, maybe a little bit of humidity. You can see under the lights here, it doesn't get super hot, but it does warm it up a little bit. So it's typically around like 64 to 66 degrees, which I think is acceptable for growing seeds. Of course, if you wanted to speed up germination, you could always do a heating mat, but I didn't think it was necessary, at least quite yet. But all in all, really happy with this setup. Kind of thought it was a stroke of genius, to be honest. My categories. So yeah, all in all, this setup, $20 for the utility shelf, $18 for each grow light. I had these, you know, these containers you just kind of get for free at different nurseries and greenhouses. Let's see, the plug, I feel like I'm forgetting something, but all in all, this grow light setup is about 70 bucks. So I think anything under 100 right now is pretty affordable.